Taking a step back in time, why did you create Wikipedia, and I should say in parentheses, Nupedia and Wikis?
Yeah, so before Wikipedia, 2 years before Wikipedia, I had the dream, the vision of a free encyclopedia written by volunteers in all the languages of the world. This inspiration came to me from watching the growth of free software, open source software, as most people know it, and watching programmers coming together and giving away their work for free online. And when I first heard about this, there's a famous guy, Richard Stallman, who really started this movement for free software, and he wrote this fantastic programmer's editor called Emacs, which if you accidentally pushed certain keystrokes, you get the Emacs manifesto, which is this kind of ranty, crazy, the first time you hear all these ideas, you're like, well, that's very interesting. I'm glad he knows how to write good software. But you think this isn't going to go anywhere. But then you saw, actually, it was really interesting. Using a free license, it solved a lot of incentive problems for people to be able to work together online. And so programmers were able to come together and collaborate in new ways. And I realized that kind of collaboration could extend beyond just software into all kinds of cultural works. And the encyclopedia was sort of the low-hanging fruit. It seemed quite easy. Actually, when I first had the idea with Nupedia, I was actually in a mad panicked rush to get started because I thought it was so obvious that lots of people would be trying to do the same thing. Well, 2 years later, when Nupedia wasn't working out, well, no one was trying to do the same thing. And Nupedia failed because it was very top-down. I hired a PhD in philosophy to organize it. He argued correctly, given the knowledge we had at the time, that it had to be more academic than Britannica. In order for it to be respected, it had to be super serious and super academic. So it was very, very intimidating to write for Nupedia. And people who volunteered, and then we had a lot of people excited about the concept, they found it very, very difficult and very, very intimidating. I had been a PhD student in finance, and my published work was in option pricing theory. And one of the leading academics in that area, Robert Merton, won the Nobel Prize in economics. And I thought, oh, okay, great, I know all of his work, I've read all of his published papers, I published a paper in that area myself, I could write this. And I sat down to write, and it was like being back in grad school, i.e. not very fun. They were going to take my draft and go and send it to the most prestigious finance professors they could find to give me comments and feedback, and it was going to be like getting a bad grade on my homework. And that was when I realized, nearly 2 years into it, this isn't going to work. For volunteers, this is too stressful. People of goodwill, they want to help out, but they don't want to go through turning in a graduate level assignment. And that was when I decided, oh no, we have to really, really open this up. And that was when we moved to the Wiki platform.